Hi everybody, I'm Meg McDonald and I work promotions for Glasgow in 2024, and together with Matt Calvert we are going to interview our wonderful artist Sarah Felix, who is also nominated as Best Fan Artist for the Hugos this year. So everybody.
Hello.
So Sarah, tell us a little bit about where you are just now, like in the world, reaching out to us.
Well, like you said, I'm a nominated artist. This is my second nomination for fan art. And so I've helped with you guys doing the Glasgow logo, as well as some other, as the other piece that you have in your background as well. I worked on Dublin as the art director. And so that's kind of how I was seen working with you guys. But I've been really focused on just keeping myself sane right now with making tiaras and just doing art at home while wrangling two small children. So
that's great. How did you get interested in doing the tiaras?
Well, it kind of started when my first child, Erin, was born. I love hats. I've always loved hats. And with her, I was making hats for everything. Hats for Valentine's Day, hats for her half birthday, hats for Christmas. And we would do these little photo shoots and I would post them online. And then when the pandemic hit, I saw everybody posting Tiara Tuesday posts. And so I thought, oh, well, I'll just start making my own tiaras on Tuesday and posting them because it gives me something to focus on during the week. And they kind of took off. And what ended up happening was there was multiple people saying to me, I don't have a tiara. I'm really sad. I really want a tiara, but I don't know, where to get my tiara. They were asking questions. And so I started doing a giveaway. And the first couple of weeks I paid for the tiaras. And then I started asking for sponsors because I didn't want to buy tiaras every week. So it was kind of where we ended up with the tiaras. It was just the love of hats and putting things on my head, obviously.
and they're a bit magical. They're a little bit sort of, you're not a full crown, you're not committed to full level royalty or anything, but you've got some kind of casting power going on up there. It always seems quite fun. So where have you drawn your inspiration for your various tiaras? I remember seeing one that was pen inspired.
Yeah, sometimes it's just based on the pieces that I find with the pen tiara specifically. I found some great pen nibs and I thought, oh, that would make a really cool tiara. Or I made a moon tiara and everybody thought it was very Sailor Moon-like. But I was just thinking, oh, this would be like a really cool, moon goddess type thing. So there's so many themes that can be put into a tiara. And so every week I kind of just explore something that I'm seeing or it's sitting on my desk or just something I've picked up along the way. I'll go through, I have a huge container of jewelry supplies. So I'll just kind of flip through them and say, oh, this would make a really cool color combination or piece. That's how it comes about.
So what about the one you're wearing?
Oh yes, this one. So I started, if you can get closer here. I made a form because people were asking me to teach classes. And what I've found in classes in the past is that a lot of people feel like they're not creative enough. And so I actually got this shape laser cut so that I could send them out to people and they could add in their own crystals and things like that. But what seems to be very popular on the tiara giveaways is this kind of strong, fierce look to these tiaras, because people do like these very simple and elegant and also very colorful, but then they like this fierce queen look. So this was kind of my fierce queen take.
Nice.
Is there a certain type of fandom or science fiction that you think that fierceness comes from? I mean, to me, my mind goes straight to Cersei in Game of Thrones, with her tiara. which is,
Yeah.
you know, is there certain ones?
It's that. It's also the kind of fey, dark fey feel that people tend to really be drawn to, because you do see so many lighter and more flowery crowns. The difference between a flowery crown and that dark magic is it's kind of a balance there.
You also
Yeah.
have your kind of Wonder Woman classic, so you've got the kind of
Mm.
sort of simple aggressiveness as well. That's
Right.
a cease of power. Again, I think that you know, that fierceness can come through.
Yeah. Well, and everybody, I mean, right now, especially with the pandemic, we want to kind of take that control of our fierceness, and so that's one of the things that seems to be keep popping up in themes.
So
Do you have a favorite tiara of the ones you've made so far?
Um, I do think that pen tiara that I made with the pen
Mm.
nibs is probably my favorite, and probably the favorite of a lot of people. I've gotten a lot of requests for making that
I
tiara.
can imagine. To me, it sort of is like, you know, when people talk about their like thinking hat, or it felt very much like it could be your writer's crown, you know, the kind of thing that
Right.
you put on to sort of be to sit and say you're being inspired or channeling the muse or something like that. So we asked you for Glasgow to design us a Glasgow, New Zealand tiara that we are going to be launching as a giveaway for anybody who has supported us by the end of Con Zealand. And we are hoping that we will continue this tradition for the next few Worldcons, and then hopefully if we are hosting Glasgow in 2024, we'll have an exhibition of your work and the tiaras, and sort of the various different methods of making and what went into them. Can you tell us a little bit about the Glasgow, New Zealand inspired tiara, please?
Can I show it? Or, yeah.
Mm.
Okay. So here is the tiara for this one. So this one, I was kind of inspired by the idea of blending the colors that we are using for Glasgow, but also the shape of the logo for Con Zealand. This is actually paper that I've painted and hardened and done a bunch of things to, so that it gives this kind of main focal point for the piece. But it's also, there's like a little crystal right in the center that's kind of focusing your attention, which you can see a little bit better in when you have it. But then also I thought like the naturalness of New Zealand with these kind of branches coming out behind it. You can kind of see them here. Kind of tied it all in together. And then, like I said, with the colors, the purples and the blues and the greens of Glasgow, all the colors that we're using there. I thought it kind of tied it all together really nicely. So it was really based on the logo for Con Zealand, and then I built around that.
And it's very kind of, I think we said separately, very weather feeling. I think maybe because of the airiness with the crystals and the swirl and kind of that natural aspect to it. And it just, and because it's very airy, it made me think of our yarn, Alba Aether. And the kind of purples and the tonal sort of magic in that, and yeah, so it's very cool. It feels like a really special tiara, which of course I'm like secretly.
Well, I was worried that like I wanted to tie them together, but I was worried this might be a little too big. But I think the crystals also kind of have movement to them, which is a nice feel for the piece. It feels like there's movement. Like you said, there's like a storm or some kind of magical element to it.
Yeah.
It's kind of a throwback to the original kind of crown or tiara too, with that you'd have gems and stuff in them, except it's the crystal's a bit different. You wouldn't normally see, which is cool.
No,
thank you.
So what's your most fun part of making a tiara?
The most fun for me is just laying it all out. So I get all these, with this one, I found the piece in the middle, and then I started laying out the crystals around it, and I started laying it all, trying to imagine what I could put together. That is really the most interesting part. And then, of course, having to try and figure out how to put it together so that it'll stay together. So a lot of this is wired to the base, and then, you know, just filling in, like with these small beads and things on the side. That's always interesting to make it feel finished. So it really is the whole process for me. But the best part of it is like trying to figure out how to put them and make them cohesive, because they're all different pieces. So.
And have you had photos back from your tiaras going out into the world? Have their recipients sent you modeling them?
Yes, yeah. I actually I made a R2D2 tiara at one point, and it was one of the first pieces that was kind of in this line, and I just gave it away, and I sent it to somebody, and then they were like, "Oh, this is my favorite Star Wars character. I want to have it." And so then she sent me a bunch of pictures, and it was awesome to really see her wearing it and being so happy. I mean, this is really what the tiaras are to me, is this happiness. And a lot of people always talk about how they look forward to it every week, the giveaway, the seeing my tiaras that I'm making. It's a very joyful experience for people, and that's what I love to see, even when people share their pictures.
I think that's very evident in kind of in seeing some of your posts about it as well, is that joy sharing in a time that can be quite challenging to have that.
Yeah, I really try and get people to share pictures of themselves in tiaras too, because it's not just about me. I don't really need to focus on me. It's about the tiaras, and it's about actually, you know, wearing something that makes you happy.
Well, thank you so much, and we're super excited to launch the competition, and we're super excited that it's going to be a theme that runs through Glasgow in 2024, and thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
And have a nice day. Daytime
Yes.
over there. Okay, wonderful.